Hi, this is the topology that we would be using throughout this course. In this video, I will configure area 0 in this topology. I will also show you what are the neighbor states a neighbor goes through before becoming fully adjacent. And we will also discuss what need to match between the neighbors before they can come up. So let's get started. I have got VMX 1, 2, 3 and 4 configured with the IP addressing, and we will do the OSPF configurations. So these are things that need to match between the neighbors before they can become adjacent. So hello interval need to match between the neighbors. Dead interval, which is 4 times hello interval by default if you don't define it manually. It also need to match between the neighbors. Area number need to match between the neighbors. And area type need to match between the neighbors. I will discuss the different area types in upcoming videos, so don't worry about it. For now, default area type is broadcast and we will not be changing it, so it should be fine. Subnet mask of the interface IP address should match between the neighbors, and interface MTU should match between the neighbors. We will configure the OSPF neighbors and then we will examine the OSPF states and the background messages that are exchanged between the neighbors, and then these things will become more clearer. Let's start by looking at the interfaces. Show interface test, match inet. So got EM2, 3, 5 and loopback 0. I would be configuring EM2.0, 5.0 and 3.0 and loopback 00 into OSPF area 0. So configuration is very simple. I'll go into OSPF mode, edit protocols, OSPF, and I will configure area 0 for this. In Junos, there is no OSPF process ID, so it's just that edit protocols OSPF area 0, and then I can start adding interfaces into it. Set interface EM2.0, set interface EM5.0, set interface EM3.0. And one more thing I want to do before I go is I want to set the trace options so we can monitor when the adjacencies come up. So I'll just set up a file, set protocols OSPF trace options, and the file I will create to store the logs is OSPF log file, set protocols OSPF trace options, flags, and the things that I want to monitor are my hello packets and state. These are the state changes when OSPF neighbor state change from down to init or other states. We will discuss that in a minute. And also I want to set up the flag for events. So any events happening related to OSPF, I also want to log them. And I do a show compare. So I have under protocols, under OSPF, I have configured these trace options, OSPF underscore log file for keeping the logs, and I'm monitoring hello messages, I'm monitoring state changes, and I'm monitoring any OSPF events. I have configured area 0, and I have configured EM2.0, 3.0 and 5.0 into that area. I forgot loopback 0, so I'll add that in as well. Another way to configure OSPF is without going into the OSPF hierarchy. I can just do set protocols OSPF area 0 interface and the loopback. That should do as well. So when I had more than one interfaces to configure, I decided to go into OSPF and area 0 hierarchy, and then I added the interfaces that I needed. When I only had one interface to add, I just used the set command, and that was fine as well. You can configure either way. Both ways are fine. Notice the area ID is in the dotted decimal notation instead of decimal. I will go through that in an upcoming video, how you can convert decimal into the dotted decimal notation and the vice versa. So for now, we are done for the OSPF configurations. I will go ahead and configure the same on VMX2. I will only be configuring trace options for VMX1 because that is enough for our studies. I will not need that much logging enabled on VMX 2, 3 or 4. Edit protocols OSPF area 0, set interface EM 2.0, set interface EM 3.0, set interface EM 5.0, set interface loopback 0.0, and that's it. And I will do a commit. I'll do a commit here as well. So let's start monitoring the file, the log file, and see what we see here. It has started sending hello packets on all the interfaces that we enabled OSPF on. And also notice that destination address of the hello packets is this multicast address 224005. 224005 is the multicast address which belongs to all the OSPF routers. Once you enable OSPF on any router, it becomes a member of this multicast group 224005 and it starts sending hello messages to this address. So any other router which have an interface configured would be listening on this address on that interface. So notice 192.168.12.1, we are sending a hello packet to 224005 which has a version 2, it has a packet length of 44, and our router ID, our local router ID is 1111, which is our loopback address on this router. By default, the router ID of OSPF is the highest loopback address on the router. If there is no loopback configured, then highest physical address would be the router ID for the OSPF. Then it's sending area ID, that is area 0. Then it is sending the mask and then sending the hello interval. And priority is for broadcast networks. We will go through the priority values when we discuss the OSPF network types. Then the dead interval, that is by default 4 times hello interval, which is 40 as the hello interval was 10. Then a DR, which is 000, and a BDR, which is 000. Both are 00 because there is nothing discovered yet. Once the neighbors come up, there would be a DR selected. And similarly, same is happening on the other interface, that is towards VMX3, and same is happening for the interface that is towards VMX11. And if we go down, we have also received a hello message from 192.168.12.2 because that is configured by now, so that is also sending hello packets, and it was sending to 224005, but we have received it. That remote router has an ID of 2222, which is the loopback of VMX2, and we received a hello interval of 10 and a dead interval of 40, so that is fine. We needed these two to match. And now notice we have started moving up on our neighbor states. So let me discuss a little bit about the neighbor states before we examine this further. As per OSPF RFC 2328, we have these neighbor states. Initially, a neighbor is down when we configure the OSPF. Once we receive a hello packet on the interface that we configured with OSPF, the neighbor state changes to init. And once we have a two-way link established between the neighbors, then it becomes a two-way neighbor state. And at two-way neighbor state, we select DR and BDRs. And then it moves to X start. At X start state, we decide master and slave relationship between the neighbors. One of the neighbors become a master and the other one become a slave. The router with the highest router ID becomes the master between the two neighbors. In the X start, master-slave relationship is established. From this point on, the neighbor relationship is called adjacencies. Once a master-slave relationship is established, then the next step is to start exchanging DBD packets. DBD packets, or the database description packets, include information about all the links that a router knows about. It sends these DBD packets to newly becoming neighbor. And then, after exchanging DBDs, the neighbor state moves to loading. In the loading state, the router sends LSR packets to its neighbor for any LSAs which it needs more details about. Once it has received LSUs for the LSRs that is sent, it moves to the fully adjacent neighbor. Let's examine neighbor states in our case. Show log OSPF log file. So let's make it bigger. We know what we are doing. So once we received a hello packet from our neighbor 192.168.12.2, we changed our state from down to init due to hello received. And the reason was hello message received on that interface. We went to two-way state once we had a two-way relationship established between these two neighbors, between 192.168.12.1 and 12.2. And then within the two-way state, we selected a DR and a BDR. The DR on this link is 192.168.12.2, which is VMX2, and this router itself has become the BDR because there are only two routers on this link. So one has become DR and the other one has become BDR. So the DR is VMX2 and BDR is the VMX1. We'll also discuss DR and BDR in the upcoming videos. And the next state is neighbor state changed from two-way to XStart. Due to adjacency checks are completed, so the neighbor state changed from two-way to XStart. So by now we have done down to init, init to two-way to XStart. So next state I expect is exchange. So here we change from XStart to exchange due to negotiations done. So master-slave negotiation completed. As we know, at XStart state, we need to decide a master and a slave. Master-slave negotiations are completed, so we move to the exchange state. And from exchange state, we move to the loading state once the exchange of DBD packets is completed. And it's also telling me here, event reason DBD exchange of slave completed. So we moved from exchange to loading. And from loading, we went to the full state. And the reason it's saying is OSPF loading completed. So we are going to a full OSPF adjacency. So if I do a show OSPF neighbor, I should be able to see that as a neighbor. So that is the physical address of my neighbor 192.168.12.2, and that is the router ID of 12.2. And if I go to VMX2, I should also be able to see the neighbor coming up here. SPF neighbor. So I got router 1 or VMX1 here 192.168.12.1, which is on interface EM2.0 with a router ID of 1111. That has come up. So let's configure VMX3 and 4 as well. So I'll go to router 3 and configure, edit protocols OSPF area 0, set interface loopback00, set interface EM2.0, set interface EM3.0, set interface EM5.0. Show compare, and it looks good to me. I have loopback 0 into area 0, loopback EM2.0 into area 0, EM3.0 and EM5.0. 2.0, 3.0, 5.0 and EM4.0 is not in area 0. Commit. So let's go to router 4, configure, edit protocols OSPF area 0, set interface loopback 0.0, set interface EM2.0, set interface EM3.0, set interface EM5.0. Show compare. So I got protocol OSPF area 0, loopback 0, EM2.0, EM3.0, EM5.0, and I will do a commit. And the last router I need to configure is VMX11. Show interface status, match INET, and I have the interfaces configured as I need. EM2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0 and loopback 00 has got this address. Let's go to configure, edit protocols, OSPF, area 0, set interface 0.0, set interface 2.0, set interface EM 3.0, set interface EM 4.0, set interface EM 5.0, set interface. Actually, I'm done by now. So I got 2, 3, 4 and 5. 2, 3, 4 and 5, and I got loopback as well. Show compare, and I will do a commit. So if we go to VMX1, I should have 3 neighbors now: VMX3, VMX2 and VMX11. Let me show OSPF neighbor. So I got VMX2, VMX3 and VMX11 is at exchange state. And we know what exchange state is. At exchange state, it is doing DBD's exchange. And I'm going to check again. So I have all 3 neighbors into full state. And if I do a show route protocol OSPF, I got a route to VMX2, I got a route to VMX3, VMX4 and VMX11's loopback. And if I want to ping it, I should be able to ping all the routers. Run ping 11, 11, 11, 11, source of 1.1.1.1, and I can ping it. And if I try 2, I can ping 2 as well. Ping 3, I can ping 3, so as you can see, all my neighbors are up and I can ping loopback addresses of my neighbors. In this video, we discussed quite a lot of things. The most important were the neighbor states, how a neighbor becomes adjacent once we configure OSPF on an interface on a router. It goes through 6 different states and finally becomes fully adjacent. So that's it for this video, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.